Hello, everybody. We're back. Welcome to Boropod. Aaron, you're here and you're in a new gaff. You've vacated the sauna. You've left that in Stevenage and you've bolted.
I know. I thought I'd be in Stevenage for the rest of my life, but I've travelled a whole 20 minutes up the road to Stopfold now, which is where I live. New backdrop with 2 Stevenage shirts and wearing, obviously, I don't even want to say retro. To me, it's retro. It's not retro at all in the slightest.
Jesus Christ. If that's retro, I'm basically dying.
Like 10 years old.
So the commute wasn't long enough, so you went up the A1 a bit just to make it more difficult.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a station. He has to come to Bulldog to go to work.
Yeah, I know. Can't even walk to the station.
Crazy. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nate. I'm still in the same office, which has actually been tidied, Robert. Finally, after about 12 months,
It is a lot tidier.
Yeah, there's only one jumper left now to tidy. So yeah, progress.
So that's not even enough for goalposts.
No.
And I'm happy to say I can only see like 3 Titans things. So it's even on that measure, it's getting better.
We're not allowed to talk about the NFL on this podcast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Absolutely. And obviously, Pat's here. Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Did you all have a good weekend?
Very good. Made even better from Saturday, as I always say.
Went way too quick as always, but no one can complain about that weekend.
No, I mean, you don't actually work, though, do you? Basically, you just take you're always away. So you must do something really dodgy for work. Are you a hitman or something?
No comment.
To have all that time off, all that traveling's to go and fulfill contracts.
Suddenly all makes sense.
I've sussed him. It's taken a while, but I've sussed him.
Didn't want this all over YouTube. Jeez.
Oh, anyway, let's what are we here for? Let's do a podcast. Let's start with Stevenage 1, Rotherham 0, and talking about graphics. Wrap your laughing gear around that. Here we go. So you can see the formation was 4-2-3-1. Marshall in goal. We're unchanged from Blackpool. Wilding, good. Pidge, Butler, Houghton and White, Roberts, Kemp, Campbell, and Reed up top. 43% possession. Pass success rate of 61, which is vastly improved from the 50-0 it was against Blackpool. And you can see the rest of the stats right there. I was a little bit surprised the lineup didn't change, chaps. Were you?
Don't want to change a winning team. I think that's probably the mentality that he's gone with. I was fine with what I saw last Saturday, so I guess why change it? I think.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised overly with the lineup. I was kind of expecting it to remain the same. I don't think there was anyone who was going to be coming back in. Obviously, Louis Thompson going down and Phillips was back on the bench, which was good to see. But in terms of the starting 11, yeah, not too surprised. I think the only one I was half expecting they might change was bringing in Phoenix for Campbell, but I don't think Campbell was not because Campbell didn't play well against Blackpool necessarily. I just thought they might freshen that side up. But no, not too surprising at all. I was quite happy with the lineup.
Yeah, they played pretty well and they had a full week off, so why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I mean, I think I would have chucked Phoenix in place of Campbell. I might have been tempted. Well, actually, I was going to say I might have been tempted to drop Houghton after that absolute howler of a game. There's something to be said for giving him the chance to sort of recover from that. Of course, we didn't have anyone else to really play there because I don't think you're going to start Dan Phillips, are you? So yeah. How good were we in the first half? Fucking good were we in the first half? Just utter domination. Utter domination. We had 3 shots on target. Well, 3 shots to their one on target, which went in, 2 off target. They had 1 shot off target. 51% possession, which when we've had a good half because we've had more possession. Actually, we have good halves when we've been absolutely battered, and it was 64% pass success rate. We completed 3 successful dribbles to their none. We won the ball off of them more often than we had corners. We were hardly dispossessed. More interceptions. It was like we were playing a bunch of schoolboys. I think I don't know what their game plan was. They did that thing where they came to Stevenage and tried to Stevenage us, and they played 3 at the back and decided that Hugo and Nombe were going to beat Pidge and Good in the air. And obviously, I mean, what did he other than he hit the scoreboard? Did Nombe do anything else other than go off injured? And Hugo squared up to Pidge and was immediately hooked. So by the manager
for his own safety.
Yeah. So it's. I don't get what they tried to do. Whereas Stevenage, there's lots of passing out. One thing I do like about the way we pass out from the back is, which a lot of teams don't, is we'll throw it out to short to Pidge or to Butler or to Luther, who will then instantly try to move it down the field rather than look for somebody within their immediate proximity. We've seen the likes of Blackpool, and someone else scored a dumb goal this week where the goalkeeper just got hunted down and the ball.
Is it Peterborough, wasn't it?
Yeah, Luton Peterborough, that's right. And we saw the goal that Blackpool scored against Doncaster in pre-season, where these teams are trying to pass the ball out from the back because their managers decided that Pep Guardiola is the god of football. I think
this is something we're seeing a lot though in the lower leagues, is teams who have centre halves who can't play with the ball at their feet. Sean Raggett is the epitome of that. Very good defender, but ball at his feet, he just looks lost. But when you've got players who can't do that, I mean, look, I don't think Piergiani and Good are the most blessed footballers in the world, but at the same time, they're not afraid to get rid of it if they have to get rid of it. They're not trying to force an extra pass to keep the ball at the back. If they're going to get rid, they'll just get rid.
Yep.
And
he's got an absolute wand of a left foot when he wants to play it long and diagonal, though.
Yeah, which I, to be honest with you, I have no problem with. It was one of those things that for under Steve Evans, he was like a diag to Roberts was there all the time. But the one thing that in the first half, and in fact the whole game, but the first half in particular, all I could think about was we've only changed the personnel of that front four with one player, and that's Chem Campbell. Mm-hmm. Yet we look like we have wingers and genuine width. Whereas last year it was almost trying to fit players who can't play wide in wide positions, and it's just so refreshing to watch. It's just fun to watch. It's good to see. Not only that, one thing I have to give Campbell credit for is support he gives Butler down that left as well, because that's something that we've been missing for a long time. Is we normally have to put someone like a Nick Freeman in on the left or the right to kind of cover the fullbacks a bit more, but.
Yeah, if you look at Chem Campbell's heat map, it is predominantly glued to that left touchline. He doesn't come in. He doesn't come in field very often at all. Like the vast majority are in the attacking, slightly like on the border between the sort of the midfield third and the attacking third. So it's an advanced position, and it's right on that left wing.
Yeah, and the goal came from that left-hand side, right? It was nicely worked out.
Yeah, there was a nice little move, passing move through the middle of the pitch that made its way out left. Chem Campbell in fact, I think it starts out left, doesn't it? In fact, with Campbell, he cuts in, brings it back into Harvey. There's a little bit of interplay, nice sort of short, snappy passes. Ball gets out to the Butler, and he whips in an absolute delicious cross, and Reed just sort of goes in front of his man and nods it on, with no pace on it whatsoever. Don't think I've ever seen a slower header go in. The goalkeeper's positioning on that is fucking abysmal.
I mean, they're all static though. I mean, not one of them went to challenge Reed on that whatsoever. It was the easiest header. We just had to guide it.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit later on, I think, with a header from Roberts, perhaps where the ball's whipped in and Robbo's got right across his man from some way back, and he's just put it wide. Roberts as well, though, his heat map is exactly the same as Campbell's, and as much as almost all of the touches are really wide. They're not all exactly along the touchline. You know, there are some sort of in that sort of inside half area. But it's night and day from last season and the season before, where he was playing as a right winger, but still taking up the position of a 10. It makes a huge difference.
It opens up space for sorry, Aaron. It opens up space for Kemp as well, and like you just see Kemp is the one that's roaming, but him not having Roberts occupying his space means that when he's in that 10, it's just so much space for him to go and do what he does best.
Kemp's heat map is all over the attacking third. I mean, it's literally right, left. It's almost not centre. In fact, there's an awful lot of him sort of pushing out wide, particularly towards the left. But you know, that's clearly where we identified that's where we're going to be able to hurt them.
I think Alex Ravel's sort of got exactly what he wants now. He's got 3 really nice sort of triangles on either side of the pitch. You've got on the left Sam Butler, Harvey White, and Chem Campbell, and they've combined loads on Saturday. And on the right, you've got the same sort of thing with Luther bombing forward if he wants to, and Houghton can sit. And then you've got Jordan Roberts on the right, who, as you say, has been sort of hugging that touchline. And that's exactly what Revel's been trying to sort of implement over the last year or so. So it feels like he's kind of got exactly what he wants now.
What pleased me the most was seeing the movement of the more forward-thinking players being so much more proactive than we saw last season, because you can see a game where we play a team like Rotherham last season ending in a really boring 0-0 stalemate where we couldn't break them down and just go around in horseshoes. This one, you know, we saw really nice little movement from Dan Kemp. Luther clipped a ball into him. He controlled it in the area. Luther backed him up. He fed it back to Luther, who then played it into Roberts, who flicked it around the corner to Kemp, who made a nice move from where he laid it back to Luther, squared it across the box really dangerously from a really aggressive position deep in their area. That sort of stuff we weren't seeing enough last season. We bemoaning it, and for the best part of an hour in this game, we were much better than the average of last season. That bodes really well. I mean, we went into our shell a little bit second half, but only in the last 20 minutes or so. And we should have been 3 or 4 up by that point. We made life a lot more nervous for ourselves than it needed to be in those last 15, 20 minutes.
It's definitely where it differed from Blackpool, where every opportunity we took against Blackpool, there was opportunities squandered on Saturday, and the one from Harvey White at the edge of the box. Trying to think of the others. Jamie Reed, I think, had one.
Phillips straight at the keeper.
Phillips, yeah.
Jordan Roberts at the back post as well, wasn't there? There were. I mean, I passed Aaron outside the 76. And the first thing I said to him is, how haven't we won that 5-0?
I was on such a high. We just got 3 points. Like I couldn't care less how we win. Nate straight away hits me with the negativity. I was like, only you.
It wasn't negative. I was delighted we won. I was just confused more than anything. I just couldn't fathom it.
Yeah, no, you weren't wrong.
You don't want to nitpick after a really good performance and a solid win where they were comfortably the better side for most of the game, but it does look like Rotherham are going to be struggling to get out of the bottom quarter of the league if that's what they're bringing to the table.
They are months away from being where they want to be. We've got so much work to do, and it was blatantly obvious which side were well drilled and which weren't. And so
if you want to be other playoff challenging sides, you've got to be converting more than one of your multiple decent chances.
Yeah. One thing that just sort of surprised me quite a lot since the game happened is how magnanimous the Rotherham fans, by and large, have been in their reaction to the game. So many of them were like, "We are miles off the level that Stevenage are." But there are obviously some absolute whoppers.
Everyone has whoppers,
but you get them. You get
them
all over the place. But no, don't do that. There's free advertising. Stop that. But I was amazed. Was it? I don't think it was you, Aaron. I think it was somebody else. He tweeted like, "I don't like seeing us being praised, getting these compliments so much. It feels weird."
Yeah, it wasn't me, but yeah, I remember seeing that tweet. I can't remember who.
I think it was Aidan.
It is weird, but I think there's also an element with Rotherham. Like they love Alex Rebel as well. So I felt like it was like I think Blackpool fans were another level. They just like the dark arts seemed to come out in that game, breaking ankles, whatever it was. Whereas I think with Rotherham fans, they were kind of pathetically bad. And on paper, their team is not actually like they've got a lot of good experienced players in that side. I appreciate that, everyone has off days, but they looked nowhere near the level I was expecting them to be. And even though in that second half when we were 1-0 up and missing opportunities, I was just waiting for something to happen and Nombe to break through and make it 1-1, and then all of a sudden your shoulders drop. They just didn't even. I can't even remember Marshall having to make a save.
No, naught efforts on target.
Yeah, no, absolutely fucking abysmal. And Nombe might be one of the worst players. The performance-wise, I mean, just generally, the performance from him on Saturday.
He was excellent last year. The game at the end of last season. But yeah, it's almost like
just destroyed us. Just destroyed us. Didn't no answer for his movement, for his pace and energy and strength. And then yesterday it was like, oh yeah, by the way, none of that is stuff. This week, chat, we're gonna absolutely fuck yeah.
Even players like, is it Powell, the old Burton guy, who is definitely a very, very good League One player. I mean, he spent most of the game just on his arse.
I don't think he had that bad a game though. He was probably their best player.
I mean, yeah, but let's be honest.
Really,
I enjoyed both Raggett and Rafferty having absolute stinkers to the point where I was sat holding my sleeping 18-month-old. Rafferty went through whoever it was on this. I think it was Phoenix on the near side.
It was.
And whilst holding my daughter, I absolutely fucking hurled abuse at him. Like, really shouting. I haven't shouted at a player like that in a long time, having been up in the media. So that was beautiful. I was like, oh, I'm back, baby. I'm back.
And to think I was worried about swearing in front of your kids and being a bad influence, I needn't have worried.
There was no doubt. Let's quickly get on to the return of Dan Phillips. It went better than Louis.
In that he survived.
In that he survived. But I think he came on. He did everything he needed to do with absolutely no dramas. He did get booked, but it's all part of the parcel of being an absolute fucking monster who snaps everyone he's put in front of him. I haven't got a problem with that at all. And is just sheer strength in the corner to hold off 2-3 men like they were children was a thing, wasn't it?
He will win us games like just on those impacts alone, because when we're coming up against really good opposition, he doesn't. The occasion doesn't faze him whatsoever. He will just go out and do exactly what you need him to do, and bring him on for the last 20 minutes. We know you might not necessarily start him. He's not our greatest midfielder, but when he comes on for that last 20 minutes, you know exactly what he's going to do, and it will win us games.
Yeah, he was obviously super keen. He came on and he was hurtling around, pressing guys, and then pressing the next guy, and then pressing the next guy. And the reason he got booked was because he pressed 2 other people and was coming in at completely the wrong angle to challenge for it, but couldn't stop himself challenging for it. So just bundled the guy over. So less is more sometimes. You've got to do a bit more coordinated.
We'll take it. It's fine. Well in, Dan. Snap him. I shouted snap him at one point. I'm not sure it was to or about. And Carol, the old, shouldn't call her old. She won't like that. One of the ladies who were in the media room before games turned around and was like, "Was that you?" I was like, "Of course it was." Yeah. Right. Let's look at the. I think we covered that off. It was a largely uneventful game. I think it was an easy win. Not much more to talk about. Is there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't see it because I was at the other end, but Dan Kemp's yellow card.
Yeah,
Was
I
it
can't even
yellow?
remember it.
Is it?
Yeah, he did get yellow. I can't even remember it.
The yellow card where the keeper basically tripped over him,
Oh, yeah.
and he was
Oh.
booked for. Yeah, that was harsh.
He went into a 50-50 with a goalkeeper, went over him. There was a bit of handbags. Kev got a yellow card, and then 10 minutes later, I think it was either Kelly or James went through Harvey White in a much worse tackle. There wasn't even a sniff of a yellow card. That's the point. I don't want to waste too much time talking about the bastard, but James Durkin is an absolute pile of shit, and I did shout at him, "Your dad would be ashamed."
It was one of those ones that and you don't get often the time with referees. Everyone just thinks you're bitter and just it's all biased.
Yeah.
He was just useless, and I don't think there's a single
I
person.
think
Regardless
it worked both ways, didn't it? It worked both
Yeah,
ways. There were definitely decisions we got that were puzzling.
There's not many games you have where at some point during the game, both sets of fans are sarcastically cheering, getting a decision. It's very rare you get those kind of games.
I think if you win a game and you spend more than 30 seconds talking about the referee, it tells you everything you need to know about it.
Good point. We'll move on to the league table. Not the league table yet. The results. So Vale 0, Cardiff 0 from Thursday. Peterborough 0, Luton 2, Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 2. Dons beat Lincoln 2-0. Barnsley beat Burton 2-0. Bolton beat Argyle. No, they didn't. 3-2. I can't read. Bolton beat Argyle 2-0. Exeter beat those precious ankles of Blackpool 4-1. Orient unfortunately beat Wigan 2-0, and Wigan had a man sent off. Mansfield lost 2-1 against Donny. Northampton and Bradford drew 0-0. We obviously beat Rotherham 1-0, and Wickham lost 2-1 against Stockport County. We'll have a quick look at the league table. Not that it means anything at the moment. Reading, Plymouth, Blackpool, and Peterborough United are in the bottom 4. Wickham are almost in the bottom 4, as are Mansfield, all on 0 points. Northampton, who we'll get to later, are on 1 point. And then we'll skip a whole lot of dross in the middle. And then Bradford are just outside the playoffs with 4 points. Then you've got Donny, Stevenage, Luton, and Stockport in the playoffs with Barnsley and Huddersfield right up the top. We are all on 6 points, and it's only really a little bit of goal difference. Well, it's exactly only a bit of goal difference separating us. Right. That's the first half of this episode done, and I'm really excited about the next thing. Pat's done a quiz.
I have done a quiz.
And it's going to be longer and way more intricate than Who the Fuck Am I?
Yes, very much so.
And Pat can't win. Yes.
Didn't win last week. Same rules as always. Buzzing with your name when you have an answer. You can interrupt me if you want, but you only get one guess per question, obviously. And I'm going to be relatively strict on answering as soon as you're buzzing in. I don't want people buzzing in to buy themselves thinking time.
No horse noises.
There is a question for each Football League year that Stevenage have had. And the answer to each subsequent question starts with the final letter of the previous question. So that should help you out a little bit because it is quite a broad topic.
If you're watching along or you're watching later on, or indeed on Spotify, whatever, play along. Why not? Let us know how you got on as well.
So we start in the 2010-2011 season. Who scored on his debut when he joined Stevenage on loan from Brighton, helping the club to a 1-0 win against Lincoln before bagging a hat-trick in his second game in a 4-1 win against Hereford Town at the Lannets? Greg?
Chris Holroyd.
Greg takes the first point. Chris Holroyd is correct.
I had no idea.
Well, you know the next one starts with a D, so that narrows it down for you. 2011-2012. Who scored the club's first goal at League One level in the side's 1-1 draw against Chesterfield in the second league game of the season?
Begins with D.
It does begin with D.
How am I having a complete blank on anyone that's played for us that has a D in their name?
I can't believe you've all forgotten him because he played a lot of different positions.
Oh, Nate. Darius Charles.
Darius Charles, correct.
Jeez.
England's number 9.
That's appalling that we've forgotten him.
Shocking. Best mole in football. 2012-2013. Who ousted Chris Day between the sticks, signing on a free transfer from Wickham in the off-season?
Nate.
Oh,
Is it Steve Arnold?
Steve Arnold, correct. Nate takes the lead, 2-1. At some point, we're going to get into Aaron's living memory, and then he's going to catch
I'm
up.
waiting on that.
2013-2014. Who did Stevenage beat in the third round of the FA Cup to set up their mouth-watering tie at Goodison Park?
Aaron, and I'm just thinking it's D. Was I in there?
Was that a Nate?
Well, I don't know. Me and Aaron said our names at the exact same time. I'll let Aaron
Oh, let's
take
go
it.
to Aaron then. He doesn't have a point yet.
I'm just thinking D, so Doncaster.
Correct. Doncaster Rovers. 2014-15. By some miracle, Stevenage made the League One playoffs but were knocked out in the semi-finals by
Nate.
who?
Sheffield
Nate.
United.
Incorrect.
Sheffield.
Greg. Was it Southend?
It was Southend United.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about the League One playoffs.
Indeed. Season before. 2015-2016. Who scored a brace of goals in Borough's final league win of the season? A 4-1 away win against Morecambe. May they rest in peace.
What year is this?
2015-16. Former Tottenham Hotspur bird.
Nate.
Nate.
And I've forgotten his name. You'll have to give it up.
I said I was going to be strict on this.
Remember.
Does anyone want to interrupt him?
No, go on.
I've got no idea.
Dean Parrott.
Dean Parrott, there he is.
Can I have
3
the
to
point?
Nate, 2 to Greg, 1 to Aaron. We move to 2016-17. Stevenage ended the season disappointingly with 4 losses and 2 draws, but who scored the only goal in the side's final win of the season on the 1st of April, a 1-0 home win against Barnet?
Greg. Danny Lopez?
It was not Danny Lopez because his name
way
doesn't
off.
start with a T.
Oh, is it T? Sorry.
We're going from Dean Parrott for the rest of you.
Sorry. I was thinking of D.
I thought for a second there I had completely lost the plot.
I was hoping someone would do that at least once.
I think I know.
What year are we in?
16-17.
The year before you were born.
I was going to say I'm 1 year away. And
I can't think of a single player that we've had.
yeah, not year.
I can't guess again, can I?
Starts with a T.
Well, do you know what? I might waive that rule if they aren't going to have a guess.
I was
Who
going
do
to
you think
say,
it is?
Okay, Greg. Tom Pett.
Correct.
Oh, fucking hell.
Changing the rules as we go on midway through the quiz as if it's some sort of Nate quiz. This is shocking. If you take as long to get this one, you should all be sacked. 2017-18. Which Guyanan international signed for Stevenage?
Greg.
Aaron.
Terence Van Kooten.
Terence Van Kooten brings you up to a point behind these two. 2018-19. Who knocked Stevenage out the first round of the League Cup despite a great goal from James Ball?
Greg. Norwich City.
Norwich City is correct. Full disclosure, I couldn't find any Ys, so we're going from the end of Norwich.
like it matters.
Which promising youth team striker left the side to join Hitchin Town permanently, having failed to establish himself in the senior squad? It's probably the hardest one in the quiz.
Oh,
Aaron.
Aaron.
Is it Harry Draper?
Yes, it is,
what
sir.
a
Brilliant.
great shout.
Greg leads on 4. Nate has 3. Aaron has 3. We're in the 2020-21
Shit,
season.
that's-
That's hard to say. Name the French midfielder who had 31
Nate.
appearances.
Greg.
Nate.
Oh fuck! No, I've absolutely fucked that.
Greg.
Is it Roman Vancelot?
It is Roman Vancelot.
You thinking
20
Darbo, weren't you?
I was thinking Darbo. The second he said 30 appearances, I was like, "Ah, fuck's it."
2021 to 2022, who beat Stevenage 1-0 on the 1st of February at the start of their horrific 11 league games without a win, which lasted all of February and March until their win against Nate. Tranmere Rovers is correct. 2022 to 2023.
That game's got a lot to answer for.
Horrendous. I mean, that 2-month period has got a lot to answer for. Which French goalkeeper finished his second stint with the club in July 22,
Greg.
making Greg?
Sacha Bastien.
Sacha Bastien is correct. 2022 to 2023. Who scored Borough's final league goal of the season, clinching a 2-1 win against Cheltenham Town, earning Borough a 9th place finish?
Aaron.
Aaron.
Luke Norris.
Incorrect. Bastien.
Oh, yeah, good point. Very good point.
I was so worried about being the only one that got the letter wrong.
To be fair, he could have gone for the surname, but I've always done it linking to the first name.
N.
Still with the club, if it helps.
What year?
23-24.
Oh,
Did you
23,
say-
24.
Did you say still with the squad?
Still with the club, yes.
I ain't got anybody whose name begins with N.
I mean, you're more likely to see him at a hospital on the pitch at the moment, but he still exists.
Oh, Nate.
Nate.
Nick Freeman.
Nick Freeman is correct. 2024 to 2025. Who was sold to MK Dons for an undisclosed
Nate.
fee in
Greg.
January?
Nathan Thompson.
Nathan Thompson. Nate has 6. Greg has 6. Aaron has 3. There is one question left.
Ooh.
Who
Go on,
enters
Aaron.
his first full season as the club's assistant manager, having joined
Nate.
in May
Greg.
2024? Nate was first.
I've blown it.
Nate is
I've
timed
gone
out.
Blank completely.
Was the
Is
second
it-
buzz you, Greg?
Yes, it was, yeah. Scott Cuthbert.
Have you got it? Nope. Because
Aaron. Neil Banfield.
Neil Banfield. Aaron moves to 4. You're
But I
lucky.
can't remember what
I
the
have
previous answer was. So I was thinking, I'm going to swim.
Nathan Thompson led you to Neil Banfield. Fortunately, I have a tiebreak question.
Ooh.
What is the total number of Football League goals that Stevenage have scored? I'm going to go Nate's guess first, please.
Oh, you motherfucker. I think Chud's tweeted this over the weekend. And
We'll see
I
if his
think,
maths matches my maths. then.
and I think I paid not enough attention to the actual content. 350.
350.
That feels too low.
It's got to be way higher than
Greg, any advance on 350?
By 351, he's going to win.
that. I think no, I'm not going to be that kind of knobhead. I think we've been in the league 12 years. Let's just say we average 50 goals ish. I'll go with 550.
550. Aaron, would you like to have a guess just for fun?
Yeah, I'll play the annoying game and go 551.
Well, Aaron is the closest because the answer is 741. That means Greg wins the quiz. Well played, Greg.
Well done, Greg.
The integrity of the game was blown out of the water there, but
Yeah, but we all had fun, and that's what counts.
yeah, that was great. I enjoyed it.
The second I said 350, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not even like 7 years of goals. Maybe for
I
us,
really
it's
didn't
average.
enjoy looking back to the season where we only scored 24, though. Jesus Christ. That brought back horrible memories.
Oh, God.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Greg. Great bat. Great quiz bat. Okay, so I guess we're looking at the Carabao Cup fixture tomorrow evening against Charlton Athletic. I don't know what to talk about with this one. It's Carabao Cup. It's tough tie. Charlton started at the weekend with a 1-0 win over someone. I forget.
Watford.
I'm looking at it right now. Watford aren't great, but they look pretty comfortable. It's a really tricky tie. We've not had the best run of it since Jones took over against them, and I suspect we're going to go into this with it's not a competition that's going to do that much for us. You don't get prize money for winning in each round, so we'll rotate a bit. We'll try to stay competitive, but we'll give some new boys a bit more chance and not worry about it too much, which could be a recipe for a fun game, to be honest. It sounds like from some of Rev's chat over the weekend that might rest one or two of the older boys. So we might see Pidge, maybe Charlie Good even getting arrested. Wouldn't be surprised to see Freestone and or Sweeney out there. Maybe give Campbell a rest, see what Phoenix can do from when he's starting. You know, maybe rotate things and give Roberts or as in Mateus Roberts some minutes. So I'm interested to see how we play against this one. How are you boys feeling about it?
That's the luxury we have. I think if you make 5, 6, 7 changes, you've still got a really solid team that will go and compete against a championship side. That's where we are lucky. So I think, like you say, we'll see perhaps Phoenix, and we'll see a change of centre halves, but I think it will still be quite a close game. Charlton will probably go into it with the same mentality as us. They're not going to prioritise it, but they'd obviously like to advance, and they will feel that the same as us. They can make 7 or 8 changes and believe that they can beat us. So it, like you say, it makes for a really interesting game because then it's kind of hard to plan because you don't know what team you're coming up against.
I think it's a long season, and I would definitely like to see a fair few players, like the likes of Butler. I know it's obviously early in the season, but he's somebody who's going to be playing week in, week out if he's fit. So I think giving someone an opportunity there. I don't think Saxon Early is going to be fit to play, so that probably means having to play Freestone out there. So if you are gonna rest Good or Piergiani or both, then you're limited.
I think this early on, I think Butler will play more than likely, and we'll see Freestone in the middle. I don't think unless Butler does actually need a rest, which I can't imagine he does just yet. I'd be amazed. I'd be amazed if we see Freestone out wide. Disappointed. Amazed.
We'll definitely. I think most of the changes will end up being more that in the front four. I think you'll definitely see maybe one of the 4 playing. The rest, I think, will probably get rested. And to be honest, I haven't got a problem with that. To your point earlier, you don't, it's not the FA Cup in from a financial perspective. You don't split gate receipts, to my knowledge, either. So there's no real financial benefit to progressing. Obviously, we all want to go on a nice little cup run, but the majority for this football club of a cup run is all about the money you can make off the back of it, not just to go on a cup run. So I'd expect at least 6 or 7 changes, maybe more. Charlton will definitely do the same. I think there's players there that they've brought in this summer who haven't really played yet so far. I'm sure they'll bring the changes. It's gonna be a tough game. It always is over there. Yep. But yeah, I would want to see. I want to see the likes of Bez, for example, wasn't even on the bench on Saturday. Looked well off it against Blackpool. He needs minutes. Why wouldn't you go and give him some game time? And there's others, the likes of Mateus Roberts you spoke about. Be more than happy to see as many changes as we can make, really. I also want to see Tay in goal. I think as much as Marshall is, hasn't really. I mean, Saturday didn't do a hell of a lot wrong necessarily. in the first game, there's a few question marks over a couple of the goals that they scored. But I think giving Tay an opportunity in this competition is not the worst idea either.
Yeah, I think we probably will see Tay, but I wouldn't be that. I somehow wouldn't be all that surprised if we don't, though. Just with Marshall didn't have much of a pre-season, so we might not see Tay just yet. I think, unfortunately for Tay, he might be limited to
Pizza Cup only.
To the Pizza Cup. Yeah. I mean, he might make the odd. It might be one of those things where Philip will get a couple of games, or a little bit of a run of games. Then he's going to bring Tay back in, see how he does, to give them a good lengthy chance to fight it out. The problem is that if you start one, unless they are absolutely incredible, like Cooper was in that opening sort of 4 or 5 games last season, you're not gonna worry too much about. You're gonna be more likely to sort things around to encourage that, aren't you?
I don't see this as a competition. I see this as Marshall is quite clearly the number one, and unless he ends up having some terrible performances and the back line has no confidence in him, which we haven't seen that so far. They've looked a lot more comfortable than they did with Tay last year. But I just think it makes sense in this competition to give him the 90 minutes. In my opinion, I don't see the reason why you wouldn't necessarily, especially if you are going to change things up in that back line anyway. So it makes sense to give him some game time.
It's probably an opportunity as well for Ryan Doherty to at least travel, hopefully get on the bench and maybe, play the last 10 minutes. He did it a couple of times last season, so I don't see why you wouldn't do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him.
We're light in midfield anyway, so if you want to make changes, he's going to have to be there or thereabouts, probably on the bench. So don't see why I don't bring him.
Yeah, Charlton look like a fairly daunting prospect. They look like they've had a good summer, got a good, deep squad. So normally you come to these games thinking, well, our best chance is that they over-weaken themselves, and we can't do that because we haven't got a big enough squad to do that. So that makes enough of a difference that we can overcome it. But I don't see that with the depth of talent they have, looking at who they played against Watford and who they had on the bench. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It certainly who we start in an attacking sense. There are some options there, and we saw at the end of the last game, Jamie Reid absolutely knackered, and we didn't have anyone to replace him with. He was looking to be brought off around 80, 85 minutes, and you can understand that when you're leading a line with minimal support at that point, chasing lost causes, it's tough. So yeah, it would make sense to give him a rest and start Lubala. Or maybe even Jovan Malcolm if he's registered in time, who signed earlier today.
Yeah, we'll get on to Malcolm in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I have the understanding that Bez had a knock or wasn't fit to start. Wasn't fit to feature at the weekend, but he was concerning in that little brief cameo he had at Blackpool. He seemed miles off it in terms of physicality, in terms of being ready to play serious minutes in those games. So perhaps giving him a run out in this one isn't such a bad idea. But I think we probably still would like to compete in this one. At least for the first 60 minutes or so, until the game's gone.
It's a tough balance to strike, but you don't want to run Reedy into the ground completely because he's too important for the league.
Yeah, he is absolutely too important for the league. Could we put Roberts up top?
Yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of surprised they didn't do that. The back end of Saturday's fixture, although he'd run his legs off just as much over 80 minutes, so maybe that doesn't quite work. But yeah, it's a tricky one. Get Sweeney to do it. He could have done 10 minutes up top
Well,
as a target, and he'd have been an absolute
yeah.
monster.
Can you imagine Rotherham trying to get the ball back off of Dan Phillips and Dan Sweeney up in that corner?
Horrendous.
Would have been there for a full 10 minutes, wouldn't it?
He'd have been better back up than Patterson, who was, bless him, he was there, but he was more there for moral support than actual physical support. It looked like a guy watching his mate win a fight in a pub car park.
I mean, Rotherham are still having nightmares about Dan Sweeney scoring. Wasn't it that game at the end of last season he scored the late equaliser? Wasn't that against Rotherham? I'm doubting myself now, but anyway.
It was the last goal at the Langs, wasn't it? Yeah. Where the ball got forward and the goalkeeper's absolutely fumbled it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Reed start with a 60-minute limit. Or I don't think I can't see us playing Roberts up front. I just don't see that. I think it'll be 60 minutes, Reed, and then there's a couple of options then off the bench if you want to go down the route of Malcolm, which we'll talk about. But I think he'll be one that will probably start the game. I think the rotation will probably come more elsewhere, the likes of maybe Kemp for Matty Roberts, maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think we're blessed enough at striker to not start him on Tuesday, as much as I think he could probably do with the rest.
Yeah, I want to see Matty Roberts and Patterson. Yeah, Phoenix. Let's just go Phoenix. It's less confusing.
Why not give leave for a ref and have Passenden on as well? Why not?
Yeah, that would make Steve's job horrendous.
Stephen Drackers is joining Steve on comms on Tuesday evening down at the Valley.
What a treat that's going to be tomorrow night. Wonderful stuff.
What a treat. I know. I mean, I'm not going. I've got too much work on, but I will be sat here watching the game on Sky with it on mute, and I will go and find my little wireless, wireless radio, my little battery powered radio. That might be.
I'll be there. It's my first away game in the away end for like 4 years, so I'm very excited.
Enjoy.
This is pod business. Mind yourselves, everyone. YouTube, just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. We need to sort out the Boropod away day. We keep talking about it and then doing nothing about actually going. That's what we're going to do. Let's do it a bit later. Anyway, let's move on to the next Saturday's game. Harry's the return of the list. Northampton visit us on Saturday. I was going to say lunchtime then. I don't know why. It's not a lunchtime kickoff. They've not had a great start. One loss, which was 3-1 against Wigan away, and they drew 0-0 at home with Bradford City. Not been the best of starts for the boys. Their top-rated player at the moment, according to FotMob, is Dean Campbell, and I've been keeping an eye on the way they've been reacting. Their fans have been reacting to him and List. They're safe to say they're quite fond of Campbell already. He's doing the business, which I think we all thought he was going to be capable of, and it's certainly coming in that way. List hasn't had the best start. It's a very quiet start for Elliott List so far. I worry about Northampton. I mean, I don't like them. You know what I mean?
Banana skin is how I see it. It is. There is a. I don't think we would go into it with any complacency. That's just not us at all, and Revs won't allow it to happen.
Absolutely.
But those games always just terrify me because it's one you're 95% expecting to win.
We're going into it with complacency.
Yeah, exactly. The players won't.
McGeehan and Hoskins have caused us problems in the past, and McGeehan in particular is very annoying to play against and watch, frankly, if you're not watching him as a supporter of his side.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that, but it's a game we should be targeting to win, right? Against a less favoured side in the league. At the worst, they should be relegation rivals, and at the best, it should be a win that can propel us towards that playoff challenge that we want. And 2 wins on 2, that's looking like the more likely way it goes this season. But it's early days.
Yeah, it's the sort of fixture that a couple of years ago, well, a few years ago, they came to us and had Danny Hilton shithouse them a win in the last few minutes before getting sent off. And it was an unbelievably fiery, very competitive game. I think both teams looked really good that day.
Was that the Van Kooten penalty in the first minute game?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we
was in the north
we lost
for that.
it
It's
right
crazy.
near the end, and it was frenetic for 90 minutes, and I left exhausted, having sat down to watch
Exhausted and furious.
Yes, certainly furious. Whereas I just don't think that's going to be the case now. I just can't see it being a game that we struggle with. It might well be one of those games where we win 1-0 and we haven't really been troubled, Aaron. Unless we miss 4 goals on the goal line, I won't see you after the game and go, "Oh, we're not 1-5-0." I'll take it. But it's one of those games. Then you've got, like you said, you've got a Hoskins and you've got players there that could cause us problems. And while I think that his squad isn't good enough, I think Kevin Nolan isn't a bad manager. So they're going to be set up. They're going to be set up to compete, and they're going to try to cause us problems. I personally don't see it. They've got that young Ethan Wheatley up, like sort of leading the line from Man United, who looks like he's going to end up being an unbelievable player. Is he going to be an unbelievable player right now? Jury's out. He's played 180 minutes from so far. Obviously, no goals, no assists. He's barely taken a shot. He's not even had a shot so far in 180 minutes. So it's not a great start to the season for the lad. But that's, as a forward, it's very rarely, when your team's having a really shit start to a season, it's rare that you're gonna not be having a shit start to the season, is it? As a striker, so it's just a difficult situation for him and the front three. But that Aaron's right. It's one of those games where we're like, we're gonna walk it, and then they come and nick a 1-0, and we're like, back down to our football.
I think we'll. Sorry, Pat. I think we'll they play a sort of 5/3 at the back, which we've seen quite a few teams come down to our place and do that, and we've generally, as a rule of thumb, not been too bad against that. But I think they will definitely. I think from the Bradford game, from what I understood, and obviously I didn't watch it, but from what I understood, it was just a game really bereft of any kind of quality whatsoever. And what Kevin Nolan's going to do, or instruct his players to do, is make it just difficult for us. So break the game up with fouls constantly, and really try and I definitely don't want to say shit out a result, but I think it's more that they would probably take a 0-0.
Oh yeah,
they can nick something even better. So I think for us, scoring in the early is going to be important. I think if we score in the first 15 minutes, the floodgates could open. We could win this game comfortably. If we end up getting to half time, it's 0-0. 60 minutes, it's 0-0. I worry about whether we'll be able to then break them down, because I think they will just come to frustrate. Not because we're, they see us as a much, much better football team necessarily, but their record at our place is mixed. And they're just not playing as well as I think that as they would expect to be or want to be. And I have no doubt that's what their game plan will be.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things that they certainly look like they're setting up to be solid through sort of the middle of the park and try to use List and McCarthy as kind of wing backs, which I'm not going to say too much about. My only concern with it is we've seen Stevenage in the last couple of years really struggle to break down teams. Come here and play with a low block. You think about, the game that really, really sort of threw us and was disgusting last season was when Lincoln came early on in the year and just made us look like a bunch of absolute mugs. They just sat back and waited for us and smacked us on the counter attack.
The one thing I will say is from last year, I 100% agree with your point, but I feel like this year with the way that we set up, I feel like we are so much more just on the front foot with the ball at our feet rather than in previous years. We've ended up sort of, if things weren't looking good in the first 10, 15 minutes, we'd end up going a bit longer or we'd end up, I feel like now with the width that we've got, if we can push, I mean, look, Elliott List playing right wing back. I mean, if you're Chem Campbell, you should be having an absolute field day down there.
Run
Him
at
him and Butler doubling up on that left-hand side, you should be having an absolute field day. But even if they change it up and go for someone else there, if you can push their wing backs back and make it difficult for them to get out, then we should be able to win. But we've got 100% have to be clinical. And if for me, it's about that early goal. If we can score in the first 20 minutes, I think we'll win it potentially comfortably, or we'll feel comfortable at least a bit like Saturday. If it starts dragging on, that's when I fear for us a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not having it. We're gonna win this one. I'm not having it. So score predictions from the boys. Start with Pat.
1-0.
Dreamy. Greg.
I'm also going to say 1-0.
Oh, fuck you, Aaron.
I'll up the ante and go 2-0. Why not?
Yeah.
A repeat of Boxing Day a couple of years ago. 3-0. Have that, you bastards. Right. Well, let's chuck it forward. We're going to have a look at little look at our latest signing this summer, and I've just broken it. There we go. Jovan Malcolm coming in from Gateshead. 5-figure transfer fee. The actual value is undisclosed, but if you're really specifying 5 figures, it's going to be close to the 6 figures somewhere along the lines, isn't it? I think it's one of those ones that I think we have to go in and temper our expectations early on. The guys stepping up from the National League, having scored 8 goals and managed 1 assist in 2,055 minutes, or 37 matches overall last season. He last season. I don't believe this stat thing I'm looking at is right, because it says he scored 8 goals from 8 shots, and so obviously all of them were on target. It also says the same about assists and touches. I'm going to put that as that. Press X to doubt. So let's just go with he scored 8 goals and 1 assist, and we'll leave it there.
I doubt that as well.
He's 20. He's 22. He's a young lad, kind of stepping up big time. He started his career at West Brom. He's had stints at Accrington, Solihull, and Cheltenham Town, where he's over the course of those appearances, he charted 2 goals in 30 odd appearances. I think in all competitions last season it was 12 goals for 45 appearances. So the stats at that level are no worse than anybody else we've got. Obviously, the level is not the same. It's a big step up for him, and I don't think this is the signing. Obviously, I mean, we saw it at the weekend. We saw it on Saturday. The Gateshead manager mentioned to the press, "Oh yeah, we've sold him to Stevenage," which I'm not sure Stevenage were probably that happy about that getting out like that, but it is what it is. I just think we got to temper our expectations and think this is a project one. It's one for maybe not even next season. It might be a season or 2 before we're looking for real return from the fella. So
it's a weird one because it feels like a signing if you had like an under-21 team that you wanted a striker for that can go and get minutes for your under-21 team, which we don't.
Yeah, it really does.
So it was a weird one in that regard. You kind of feel like you don't. I can't imagine us signing him, certainly paying a transfer fee for a guy who ends up not getting a sniff on the pitch whatsoever. Unless it's for Jake Young kind of reasons. But I think I would expect like Charlton tomorrow, if he's available, give him 20 minutes. Let him have a run out in the Pizza Cup. Let him start games. Don't just bring him on for 15 minutes in those games and let's see what he's got. But to your point, there's some of the Gateshead fans' responses have been, wish him well. He was, not terrible, but not great. Which is
can't believe got money for him. Wonderful.
It's a mixed bag, but I think
there were a few that were surprised that it wasn't 6 figures. But when they realised that it was 1K under 6 figures, they might be less disappointed.
I think that's hope more than expectation. I'm actually amazed we even said it was 5 figures because they just called it undisclosed.
I know.
I found that very odd.
Yeah, it's more information than we usually get, isn't it? We do sometimes get a bit of information that's sort of just dropped out there, usually by agents or something, but it's surprising that we even got that much that it's 5 figures.
Hmm.
Maybe they were concerned with someone saying it was 6 and they were like, no, we're not admitting to paying that much.
Yeah, and it looks like for Accrington, he was almost exclusively used as a substitute, and that was back in 21-22.
Yeah.
Cheltenham, shorter period, but more established as a first-team starter. He got 470 minutes across 7 games.
They were really poor that year, though. That was the year they went down.
Yeah, it's 23-24, you're right. And then I guess West Brom decided he was not going to make it, surplus to requirements, and he ended up at Gateshead for a season. So we're taking a gamble on a guy who's had like 700 minutes in League One without scoring. He's got some experience, and they must like his athletic profile, I guess. And even if what he's bringing to the table is saving Jamie Reid 10-15 minutes at the end of the game when he's run his legs off, that is a bonus because we didn't have someone to do that on Saturday.
There's more to come, though. I don't believe that's the only striker we'll be signing. And
I can't. I'd be stunned.
Is he taking the number 9 shirt? That's what I want to know.
No. We don't know, but no. I did ask the club, any news that you can drop us this evening before we, end the call. I don't think it's going to happen somehow, but that's out. I've even got. Yeah, Alfie doesn't go to bed. I've got a banner here ready to go. Breaking news: Stevenage FC sign ready to drop it in, but I don't think we're going to get there, unfortunately.
As soon as you say thanks for joining us, bye. Click send on the tweet.
you know what's happening. Hi, Alfie. Sat there watching us, isn't he? He's going, well, I'm not fucking tweeting this until they stop. Anything else, boys?
Shout out Jovi in the chat who says they should sign me.
I mean, I've never watched you play football, so I'm not going to comment. You might be all right.
It's 5 figures.
Can't be any worse than Aaron Presley, can he? Let's be honest.
Now, come on. Don't be mean.
Sorry, was he good?
I mean, he was there.
Yeah, a cracking goal line clearance in that game.
Oh,
yeah,
so angry.
Prevented a youth lad from getting his Ellis Bates, was it?
His dad would have been proud. No, I think it wasn't it. Who was the centre forward we had?
Harrison Smith.
That's the one.
Harrison Smith. That's right. Yeah, prevented him from getting his first senior goal.
Yeah. His dad would have been proud.
Unbelievable. I still can't believe that. It still makes me angry when I think about it. There's no way a defender was clearing that ball.
That was absolutely going in. 100%
absolutely no chance. Absolutely going in. All you had to do was be there to put the defender off. And instead he's like, no, I'm having that. That'll be my 1 goal contribution this season. Dick.
Has he scored for Walsall yet?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Why not? I'm stalling for time for us to announce the signing. Let us know in the chat. I'm a real YouTuber now because I've asked someone to do something in the chat. There we go.
Like and subscribe. Nick's not here. I've got to say it.
Nick's not here somehow. No goals. He's had 2 shots and 1 on target. There you go.
No goals, no shocks.
No shots.
And he was replaced by Jamil Matt just to complete the full ex-Stevenage circle.
Oh, they've got an horrible full front line. Crikey. Relegation. Surely.
I know, they were good last year.
No, obviously.
Until they bottled it.
Well, they were good for 3 months.
Yeah. Until they lost low and then
Yeah.
disintegrated in front of our eyes.
Yeah. Right, bollocks. That's enough. Steve, Alfie is definitely sat here watching us, so he can tweet once we're done. So we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up here. Thanks everybody for joining us. If you've got anything to say, give us a shout on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, whatever. In the comments here, down in the comments, like and subscribe and all that wank. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you Saturday up the Borough.
Woo!
And all that wank. That's the quote of the day.
The title.
No, the title is